So we all know the story of YouTube, right? Well, maybe not. See, like with any deal worth billions, the story you've been told, it's usually not the whole story. Today, we're cracking open the case file on one of the biggest tech buyouts ever. We're going to find the financial secrets that, let's just say, didn't make it into the press release. All right, let's get into it.
And really, our entire investigation here comes down to one massive question. How on earth did a failed dating site, a site funded by maxed out credit cards, by the way, end up becoming a $1.65 billion empire? I mean, think about that. The answer, as you'll see, takes us deep into a world of pure desperation, last-minute pivots, and yeah, some very secret meetings.
Okay, so before we can get to the truth, we've got to talk about the myth. You know, the official story. It's this super clean, simple narrative that's been told over and over again for years. It's the story everyone thinks they know, mostly because it's been so carefully polished for public consumption.
Yep, this is the one you've definitely heard. Three guys who used to work at PayPal, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karim, they're at a dinner party, they can't figure out how to share videos, and boom, a light bulb goes off. A world-changing platform is born. It sounds almost too perfect, right? Well, that's because it probably is. That whole dinner party story? Almost certainly just good PR. A nice, easy-to-swallow story to cover up a much messier and way more interesting beginning.
And this is where our investigation really kicks into gear. We're pushing past all that marketing fluff and digging into the raw, unfiltered history of what YouTube was really supposed to be. And trust me on this one, it is not what you think.
All right, here's our first hidden truth. YouTube wasn't born out of some grand vision to broadcast yourself. Nope, it was born from a desire to find a date. Yeah, let's look at what they were originally trying to build.
Yeah, can't make this up. The domain, youtube.com, was actually registered on Valentine's Day in 2005. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about their original focus, right? The idea wasn't to share cat videos. It was a video dating service with the, let's say, catchy slogan, tune in, hook up. It was basically meant to be a video version of that old site Hot or Not. The whole plan was for people to upload short video profiles of themselves to, find a match. But there was one massive glaring problem. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was uploading dating videos. It got so bad, so desperate that the founders actually started posting ads on Craigslist. They were offering women $100 just to upload a video. And the result of this grand plan? Not a single person took them up on it. Zero. The dating site idea was an absolute, undeniable failure.
So, with their first idea completely dead in the water, the pivot, the idea that would change everything, was born out of pure frustration. One of the co-founders, Jawed Karim, was trying to find clips of two huge global events online. You had the Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident and the tragic 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. He couldn't find them anywhere. And that's when it clicked. The real need wasn't for video dating. It was for one single place where anyone could find and share important, timely video clips about anything.
So they made the switch, and boy, did it work. In fact, it worked a little too well. The site's growth was so explosive, so viral, that it created this bizarre paradox that almost killed the company. And that brings us to our second hidden truth. For YouTube, success actually meant going bankrupt.
Now, from the outside, it probably looked like they were flying high. They managed to get some serious venture capital funding, right? A total of $11.5 million from big names like Sequoia Capital and Artist Capital Management. And for a startup that young, that's a ton of cash. But here's the thing. It wasn't nearly enough. It was a drop in the ocean. Think about it. Millions of people are uploading and watching videos. The cost for servers and bandwidth was just astronomical, and they had no way of making money yet. So they were just hemorrhaging cash. Every single viral video that made them more popular was also pushing them one step closer to complete financial collapse.
And if you want to know just how desperate things got, just listen to this quote from co-founder Steve Chen. He said, and I quote, "I was reaching my credit card limit every month. I found out that I could get 2 to 3 times past the limit if I paid it off multiple times a month." Let that sink in. This wasn't just venture capital money anymore. They were literally keeping the site alive, paying for the servers on personal credit cards. This company was right on the edge of the cliff.
And this is a really key part of the story. You have to understand, that huge sale to Google, it wasn't some triumphant victory parade. No way. It was a lifeline. It was an escape hatch from guaranteed bankruptcy. And the story of how that deal actually happened? Well, that's our third hidden truth.
So while YouTube is bleeding cash,
Google has a totally different problem. They had their own platform, Google Video, but it was basically a ghost town. Just look at the difference here. Google Video was super corporate, kind of sterile. YouTube, on the other hand, was raw, it felt real, and it was just exploding with stuff people were making themselves. The Google executive in charge at the time, Susan Wojcicki, she had her big aha moment when she saw this viral video of two students lip-syncing, the Backdoor Boys, and she realized, we can't build this, we have to buy.
Okay, but the talks had to be completely secret. If anyone found out, especially their big rival Yahoo, it would have started a massive bidding war. So they had to pick a place to meet where no tech reporters, no competitors, no venture capitalists would ever think to look. And Steve Chen's question was basically, where's a place that none of us would ever go? Their answer? A Denny's. A local Denny's diner in Palo Alto. A billion-dollar deal being hammered out over a Grand Slam breakfast.
And it was right there, probably over some mozzarella sticks, that they sealed the deal. In November of 2006, Google officially acquired this broke, unprofitable startup that was less than 2 years old for $1.65 times billion all in stock. YouTube had found its escape.
But hold on, the story is not over. Not by a long shot. Because the final hidden truth is that even with all of Google's money and power, YouTube was about to face its biggest threat yet. A fight for its very survival that came after the acquisition, and one that could have erased it from existence. So just a few months after the Google deal closes, in March 2007, the media giant Viacom, we're talking the parent company of MTV, Comedy Central, Paramount Pictures, they come crashing down on YouTube with a lawsuit. And the number they were demanding? $1 billion. They accused YouTube of massive and brazen copyright infringement, saying the site was just flooded with their clips illegally. Now, YouTube's entire future, everything they had built, was resting on one single critical piece of law. It's called the Safe Harbor provision of the DMCA. And what it basically says is that a platform like YouTube isn't legally responsible for what its users upload, if they take the stuff down promptly once they're told it's infringing copyright. This lawsuit from Viacom, it was going to be the ultimate stress test for that legal shield.
And man, what a test it was. This wasn't some quick legal skirmish. This was a brutal 7-year legal war. You can see it here on the timeline. It starts in 2007 with that billion-dollar lawsuit. Then in 2010, it looks like YouTube is in the clear. A judge sides with them, says Safe Harbor protects them. But then, 2012, an appeals court overturns that and the case is back on. For years, the entire idea of user-generated content as a business was just hanging by a thread.
Finally, in 2014, it all came to an end. They reached a settlement. Now, the official terms were kept under wraps, but the one crucial detail got out. No money changed hands. Viacom did not get its $1 billion. And this was a huge, huge deal. It was the victory that basically cemented the safe harbor rules that protect pretty much every single social media site you use today.
So, when you put all the pieces of the investigation together, the real story of YouTube has nothing to do with a dinner party. It's the story of a failed dating site called TuneIn Hookup. It's about founders running on fumes, maxing out their personal credit cards just to stay online. It's about a secret $1 billion deal made in a Denny's diner to avoid going bust. And it's about an existential legal battle that literally defined the rules for the internet as we know it.
Kinda makes you think, doesn't it? This whole digital world we live in, it was built on secret deals in diners and behind-the-scenes legal loopholes. Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. What's the next Denny's meeting? What secret deal is happening right now that's going to build the next version of our world?